For countless centuries, Zen teachers discovered a quiet truth about peace. Life's storms are not merely barriers, but guides. Tonight, we enter ancient tales of people who stop resisting life and instead learn to move with its flow. Before we begin, feel free to share the time and place where you're listening. These are not lessons to memorize or skills to master. They are gentle invitations to recall what your heart already understands about peace. The stories will unfold softly, one after another, like calm waves. As they do, your mind may grow quieter, and your body may release tensions you never noticed you were holding. Settle fully now. Let your body become heavy. There is nowhere else you need to go. Relax. Take one slow, deep breath, and let us begin together. In a village resting between mountains and dense forest, lived a gardener named Sora. He had viewed his own struggles as things to escape or defeat as quickly as possible. So the storm teaches the flower? Dai asked. The storm reveals what the flower already holds, Sora answered. Strength, adaptability, the ability to bend without breaking. These do not grow on easy days. They appear when life asks the roots to grow deeper and stronger. They sat silently. A soft breeze moved through the garden, and Dai watched the flowers sway, not resisting, only moving with it. Is this also true for people? He asked quietly. The storms in our lives, are they teachers too? Sora turned and met his gaze. What do you think? Sora asked. When has life taught you the most? When everything went as planned, or when nothing did? Dai reflected on his journey. The losses that sent him wandering, the disappointments that shattered old beliefs, the confusion that forced him to question what he truly wanted. All of it was painful, Dai said, but all of it was necessary. The difficult times, though, I would never have chosen them. Of course, Sora replied softly. The flower does not choose the storm either, but when it arrives, as storms always do, the flower chooses how to meet it. It can resist and stiffen, or it can receive and bend, Sora said, gesturing to the garden. What you see here are not flowers that avoided hardship, but flowers that learned to be present with it, letting difficulty shape them into something stronger and more beautiful than endless sunshine ever could. As Dai prepared to leave, the sky darkened with the promise of rain. He paused at the gate and looked back. Sora had returned to kneeling in the soil, fully absorbed in tending. Thank you, Dai called. Sora looked up and smiled. The teaching is not mine. It's Tuar. The garden offers it freely to anyone willing to see. Sora said. Safe travels, my friend. May you find peace in whatever weather comes. That evening, as rain fell at the inn, Dai stood by the window, thinking of flowers receiving each drop, of stems bending without breaking, and for the first time in many months, he felt gratitude for the storms that led him to this moment, this place, this quiet beginning of understanding. Sora's garden points to a core truth of Zen practice. Our difficulties are not separate from our path. They are the path itself. True presence, mindful awareness, is not limited to pleasant moments. It means being fully awake in every moment, including the difficult ones. Notice how you meet challenges in your life. Do you face them directly, or spend energy wishing they were not happening? The difference between these approaches is profound. When you resist what is already here, you create a second layer of suffering. There is the difficulty itself, and then your struggle against its existence. Sora's flowers show this clearly. They do not waste energy arguing with the rain. They respond to what arrives. This is not passive surrender or giving up. It is active presence, meeting each moment with full awareness instead of divided attention between what is happening and what you wish were happening. Think of times you grew the most, moments when you discovered strengths you did not know you had, often through challenge, through being stretched beyond comfort. This is the storm acting as teacher. Yet Sora understood something subtle. The lesson is not inside the storm itself. A storm is simply weather. The teaching appears through your relationship with it, through how you meet difficulty, and whether you can stay present instead of breaking into fear and resistance. Mindfulness practice develops exactly this ability. When you sit and observe your breath, you are not trying to create perfect calm. You are learning to remain present with whatever arises. Ease or discomfort, clarity or confusion, calm or restlessness, all become practice when met with awareness rather than judgment. Rain falls on Sora's garden and on gardens where people panic and cover their plants. The rain is the same, yet responses create different results. One garden grows strong by meeting the weather, the other stays fragile, dependent on constant protection. Your own difficulties work in the same way. You cannot control whether storms arrive, but you can choose how you stand within them, rigid and resisting, or flexible and aware, fighting reality, or breathing with it, believing the storm should not exist, or acknowledging it and asking what it might teach. This is not easy. Presence with difficulty requires practice. Your mind will want to escape into distraction, into stories of why this should not be happening, into fantasies of when it will end. Each time you notice this and gently return to what is, you strengthen the very quality Sora saw in his flowers, the ability to bend without breaking, to stay rooted while everything shifts. There is peace available here, not the peace of having no problems, but the peace of not adding resistance to the problems that exist. A flower in rain is simply a flower in rain. It does not carry the burden of wishing to be in sunshine. In that simplicity, in meeting what is, there is quiet grace. Let your breath soften now as we move toward the next story. Notice how your body already understands this wisdom. Your lungs do not resist the exhale. They release, trusting the next inhale will arrive. This rhythm continues on its own. Presence, release, renewal. The same cycle moving through Sora's garden also moves through you. In a monastery hidden among snowy peaks, a young monk named Taro was given a simple duty. Each afternoon he cleaned the meditation hall where the community gathered. The work was quiet, almost meditative, and Taro took pride in keeping the space perfectly clean. The hall itself was simple. Smooth wooden floors, white walls, plain cushions arranged in neat rows. As he noticed his fullness, small gaps appeared, moments when his mind did not rush to judge or categorize, brief spaces of simple openness. In those moments, something surprising emerged. The world felt more vivid. Colors brightened, sounds sharpened. Even simple food carried flavors he'd never noticed. It was as if a veil had lifted, revealing the immediacy of experience. One morning, while sweeping the courtyard, Suri approached. "Tell me what you are learning." Kenji paused, leaning on his broom. He almost answered with theory, then stopped. Emptying his cup, he said simply, "I'm learning that I don't know much, and that not knowing lets me truly see." Suri smiled. "Now we can begin." The teaching that followed was unlike anything before. She did not add more ideas to his mind. Instead, she helped him learn to empty it, to create space, to become receptive rather than full. She taught him that wisdom is not accumulation, but subtraction. That insight comes not from adding more ideas, but from letting go of what blocks direct seeing. A beginner's mind, open and empty, often perceives more clearly than an expert's mind, crowded with certainty. Months later, when Kenji was ready to return home, Suri performed the tea ceremony with him one final time. She poured tea into his cup. He watched it rise toward the brim. This time, he noticed how the tea accepted the cup's shape, how it adapted without resistance, remaining fully itself while fitting its conditions. "Be like this tea," Suri said, "empty enough to receive what arrives, flexible enough to take the needed form, yet always yourself, clear, pure, complete." Kenji bowed deeply, holding the cup with both hands. This time, he tasted the tea, truly tasted it. And within that taste, he found what years of study had been seeking. Not a concept to grasp, not an idea to analyze, but the immediate reality of this moment, this tea, this breath, this presence. This story highlights a common obstacle in spiritual growth and in life: being too full. We gather ideas, beliefs, opinions, knowledge, and experiences. We build firm views of how things are. And this accumulation, useful in its way, can block fresh perception. When you approach a moment already knowing what it will be, you cannot truly meet what it is. Your assumptions shape experience before it even arrives. You see what you expect. You hear what you're prepared to hear. You confirm what you already believe. Life then feels stale and repetitive, not because life is predictable, but because you're experiencing thoughts about life instead of life itself. A full cup cannot receive new tea. This isn't a metaphor, it's physical fact. The same applies to the mind. When attention is filled with what you already think and believe, there's no space for anything new. Everything passes through old filters. Experience gets translated into familiar terms, and the raw immediacy never fully reaches you. This is why beginners often learn faster than experts. A beginner's mind has fewer blocks. An expert's mind, packed with knowledge, can grow rigid, so certain of what it knows that it misses what's actually present. Suri wasn't rejecting knowledge or promoting ignorance. She taught the skill of emptying your cup when needed, setting aside what you think you know to meet each moment freshly, creating space between past understanding and present experience. This openness takes courage. Not knowing feels vulnerable. Letting go of certainty can be unsettling. There's comfort in having answers and expectations, but that comfort has a cost. It limits discovery. It blocks real learning and dulls the aliveness of direct contact with what's here. Consider how you listen to others. Do you truly hear them, or filter their words through beliefs about them? The topic: yourself. Do you let their words arrive fresh, or instantly compare them to your opinions? The same is true with your own emotions. When sadness appears, do you meet it directly, or do you quickly cover it with stories what it means, why it shouldn't be there, how to make it disappear? Sadness itself is simple and direct. It's the crowded mind around sadness that creates suffering. Emptying your cup doesn't mean becoming blank or passive. It means making space. Space for what is present to show itself. Space for real learning to happen. Space for life to surprise you, to reveal something unexpected, to teach what a full mind would have blocked. Kenji's discovery that the world felt more vivid when he was empty points to something essential. Reality is always vivid, always fresh, always new. You miss this when you experience thoughts about reality instead of reality itself. The tea always had its flavor. Colors were always bright, sounds were always clear. Kenji couldn't sense this richness because his attention was elsewhere. This is true in every moment of your life. Right now, more is available to your senses than you notice. Sounds unheard, sensations unfelt, details unseen. Not because they aren't there, but because attention is crowded with thoughts, plans, memories, judgments. All this mental activity pushes out direct perception. What would it be like to live with an empty cup? To wake without instantly filling the mind with worries? To enter conversations open to surprise? To meet emotions without already deciding what they mean? To see familiar things as if for the first time? This is the invitation of openness, not to erase what you know, but to hold it lightly so it doesn't block what you don't yet know. To stay curious even about what seems familiar. To keep wonder and receptivity no matter how much experience you gain. Tea takes the shape of whatever cup holds it. That flexibility comes from emptiness, from having no fixed form. The mind can learn this same flexibility, not needing rigid positions, not defending old beliefs. Free to receive, adapt, and discover. This is the wisdom of the empty cup. In a dense forest, where oak and pine grew so thick that midday light barely reached the ground, a Zen teacher named Ryota walked with a student named Amy. She had carried a heavy heart for weeks. Life felt difficult. Her father was ill. Her work demanded too much. A close friendship had ended painfully. Each day felt like a burden she struggled to carry. She walked with Ryota, hoping for wisdom to ease her suffering, some teaching to make the weight lighter. They walked in silence, the path soft beneath fallen needles and leaves. Trees rose like cathedral walls, their canopy blocking the sky. The air was cool and still, scented with earth and growth. Amy was lost in thought, replaying problems, searching for solutions, worrying ahead. Her body moved through the forest, but her mind circled the same concerns again and again. Ryota suddenly stopped. He stood completely still, eyes fixed to the left of the path. Amy halted and followed his gaze. At first, she saw only forest trees, shadows, tangled undergrowth. Then she noticed it. A single beam of sunlight had slipped through the dense canopy above. It descended like a golden pillar through the dim forest, lighting a small patch of ground. In that circle of light, a tiny purple flower bloomed, just one, no bigger than a coin, growing between the roots of a huge tree. Ordinary, simple yet glowing as if lit from within. The purple petals looked almost translucent. Its yellow center warmed the surrounding darkness. The small flower shone like a jewel. They stood silently. Above them, wind stirred branches. The beam of sunlight shifted, softened, then brightened again. The flower remained, receiving whatever light arrived, neither demanding more nor resisting when it faded. After a while, Ryota spoke softly. "What do you see?" "A flower," Amy said, "catching sunlight." "Look more closely." Amy watched again. The flower was not striving or reaching, not chasing light or morning shadow. It simply existed where it was. When light came, it received it fully. When light dimmed, it stayed whole, complete, even in shade. "The flower doesn't worry about whether light will return," Ryota said quietly. "It doesn't exhaust itself thinking about darker places where light never reaches. It exists in this moment. And when light arrives, it receives it fully." Tears touched Amy's eyes, though she didn't know why. "This beam traveled through thousands of leaves," Ryota continued, "through gaps that aligned just so, all the way from the sun to reach this single flower. And the flower never asks if it deserves the light. It doesn't wonder why others remain in shadow. It simply accepts what comes." He turned to Amy. "Your heart is heavy. Your life is difficult. But right now, standing here, breathing this air, seeing this flower, what is actually wrong?" Amy began to open her mouth. Then she stopped. In this moment, in this breath, what was happening? Her father's illness was real, but not occurring on this path. Her work stress existed, but not in this forest. The broken friendship lived in memory, not here. What was present was cool air, forest scent, her breathing, a flower receiving light. None of these were problems. They were simply what was here. "But my problems still exist," she said softly. "Even if I'm not thinking of them, they're real." "Yes," Ryota said, "they are real, but they are not happening in this moment. This moment contains only what it contains. When you stay here, you may discover something worry has been hiding." They walked on, deeper into the forest. But Amy's attention now turned outward. She noticed more beams of light, small clearings with wild flowers, moss patterns on trunks, the sound of a stream ahead. How much beauty had she missed while lost in thought? How many moments passed unseen while her mind was elsewhere? They reached a place where the path crossed a narrow stream. Ryota knelt by the stream and scooped water with his hands. Amy followed. The water was cold and clear, tasting of stone and soil. As she drank, she realized she couldn't remember the last time she truly tasted water. Usually she drank while distracted. This drink, this moment, felt complete on its own. "Your problems are real," Ryota said, sitting on a smooth stone beside the water. "I'm not saying to ignore them or pretend they don't matter, but when your mind is filled only with problems, you miss what's available now. You miss the light breaking through. You miss the flower blooming." That was of Bidjister. "You miss the taste of water, the sound of streams, the presence of your breath." "But how does noticing this help my real problems?" Amy asked. It may not solve them, he said, but it reveals something important, that your life is more than your problems. And even in difficulty, simple joy still exists. Suffering is real, Ryota continued, but it isn't the only reality. There is also this stream, this rock, this sky between the trees. Amy sat listening as water moved over stones. A bird called overhead. Leaves stirred in the breeze. And for a moment the heaviness in her chest softened, not because her problems vanished, but because she remembered there was more to her life than those problems. They stayed by the stream quietly, not talking, simply present with what was here, instead of lost in thoughts of elsewhere. Slowly, Amy felt something shift. Not a solution to her difficulties, but a recognition that she could meet them differently. Not from exhaustion and overwhelm, but from a quieter center, where simple things remained beautiful. When they finally stood to return, Amy thanked Ryota for his teaching. I taught you nothing, he said with a gentle smile. The flower taught you, the light taught you, the water taught you. I only helped you notice what was already here. Walking back through the forest, Amy saw the same trees and shadows, but now her attention rested with what was present. In that presence, she found what she had been seeking without knowing it, not freedom from difficulty, but freedom within it. Not the absence of problems, but the understanding that problems don't fill every moment. Joy can exist alongside suffering. Light still breaks through even the darkest forest. This story points to something essential about how we live through hard times. When challenges arise, the mind naturally becomes absorbed by them. You wake thinking of problems, carry them through the day, fall asleep worrying. Difficulties become the lens for everything. This total focus creates tunnel vision. You start believing your life is only these problems, that nothing else matters, that every moment is defined by struggle. In this state, you lose touch with parts of life that remain untouched, the simple things that still offer nourishment and beauty. The forest flower didn't deny the surrounding darkness. The darkness was real. Most of the forest stayed in shadow. But the flower didn't reject light just because darkness existed elsewhere. The flower felt no guilt for blooming while other seeds never sprouted. It simply existed where it was, and when light arrived, it received that light fully. This is not about forced positivity or pretending pain doesn't matter. Your struggles are real. Your pain is valid, but it is not the whole of your experience. Even amid serious challenges, moments of simple goodness remain. The taste of food, warm water on skin, a glimpse of sky, a burst of laughter. These continue to exist, even when life also holds pain. When you stay with what's happening now, this moment is often more bearable than the story your mind tells about your life. The story includes past and future difficulties, worries about what may come, regrets about what has passed. But this moment, this single experience usually holds something simpler. Right now, as you rest here, is this moment unbearable, or is it actually okay? Your body is supported, your breath is moving. Perhaps sounds are present, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Separated from the story of your life, what is the quality of this moment? This doesn't dismiss suffering. It shows how much extra pain we add by rehearsing difficulties, by living inside problems instead of inside moments. Problems are real, but spending time worrying when you could be tasting water or seeing flowers is a choice. Ryota's question was simple. In this moment, what is actually wrong? Not denying problems elsewhere, but examining now, and now often holds more ease than your thoughts suggest. The beam of light breaking through the forest mirrors moments of simple joy during hard times. A kind word, unexpected laughter, the pleasure of stretching. These moments don't arrive because problems are solved, but because they're part of life's texture, regardless of circumstances. When you notice these moments, receive them as the flower receives light. They don't solve problems, but remind you your capacity for joy survives difficulty. Your life still holds beauty alongside struggle. You are not only someone with problems, you are also someone who can taste water and feel sunlight. This understanding can change how you carry hardship. Not erasing it, but offering a place to rest, a reminder that you are larger than trouble. Life holds more than pain. Even in the darkest forest, light finds a path through. The flower doesn't refuse light because darkness will return. It accepts what arrives. When it arrives, you can cultivate the same openness, allowing simple pleasures to touch you even when life also hurts, not denying pain and not denying pleasure. Letting both be true, because both are true. Your breath right now is one of those beams of light, simple, always here, neither fixing problems nor requiring their absence, just moving in and out. Between thoughts about your life, there is life itself present, immediate, available, waiting not for problems to end, but for your attention to arrive. In a valley where morning mist rose like breath from resting earth, a young bamboo grew beside a river. It was still small, only a few seasons old, yet already straight and jointed in its familiar form. Its roots sank into fertile soil, its leaves catching whatever light passed through taller trees nearby. The river beside the bamboo was ancient. Over countless years it had carved the valley, shaping stone and soil with quiet patience. Its water ran clear, revealing smooth rocks below, moving in a steady current that never stopped. Even in winter, when ice edged its banks, the bamboo found itself drawn to this river. Unlike the bamboo, rooted in one place, the river was always moving, always going somewhere, yet it never seemed lost. The water flowing now was not the same water as before, and still the river remained unmistakably itself. One night, beneath a moon bright enough to turn the valley silver, the bamboo heard a voice. It seemed to rise from the river, though rivers do not speak. Still, the voice flowed gently, asking, "Why do you watch me so closely, young bamboo?" The bamboo's leaves trembled in surprise. Had it been watching? Yes, it realized. Again and again, its attention returned to the moving water. "I watch because I wonder," the bamboo replied, unsure if it spoke aloud or only within. "You are always moving, yet you never seem lost. You change constantly, yet you remain yourself. How is that possible?" The river answered with a sound like soft laughter, or perhaps just water over stone. "I remain myself by changing. If I tried to stay the same, holding one shape, I would become stagnant, no longer what I am." "But where do you go?" the bamboo asked. "Where does all this water travel?" "Everywhere," said the river. "To the sea, where I become something larger. To the sky as rain. To the mountains as snow. Into trees, animals, and earth. I move through countless forms and places, yet I remain water. I remain flow. I remain myself." The bamboo swayed in the night air. "I cannot move like you," it said. "I am rooted here, growing only upward, with a single form. Look more closely." The river replied, "Are you only what appears on the surface?" The bamboo grew still, turning inward. Its roots spread through soil, drawing water and minerals. Its hollow stalks carried nourishment upward. Its leaves breathed light and air into growth. Though standing still, it was filled with movement and change. "I see," the bamboo said. "I am flowing too, in another way." "Yes. And your form is not fixed. Your fibers could become many things: a flute, a brush, a water pole, a garden fence. Your potential is not limited to standing here. Like me, you can take many forms, but that would mean being cut, separated from your roots. Does that frighten you?" The bamboo considered this. Part of it wished to remain safe and rooted, growing the same way year after year. Yet another part recognized a deeper truth in the river's words, something beyond its fear. "You meet stones in your path," the bamboo said, watching water curve around a rock. "Do I mind them?" the river echoed. "They belong to my path. They teach me. Stones show me new ways to move. Water that meets resistance grows wiser, more skillful at finding passage. If my way were only smooth sand, I would learn nothing." The bamboo watched the current split, circle the stone, then reunite beyond it. The river did not stop or complain. It did not argue with the stone's presence. It simply adjusted, changed direction, and kept flowing. And when you reached the sea, the bamboo asked, "Do you stop being a river? I become something larger." The river shape dissolves, but the water continues. As waves, currents, fish, and ocean air, the form changes, yet nothing is lost. I remain water, still flowing, still myself beyond any single shape. A breeze crossed the valley, and the bamboo swayed. For the first time, it felt the movement not as something happening to it, but as something shared. Wind and bamboo flowed together, creating motion through meeting. "I think I understand," the bamboo said. "I thought I was fixed, but I am a process like you. I am bambooing, not just bamboo, growing and changing even while appearing still." "Now you see," replied the river. "Nothing truly stands still. Everything flows. The question is not change, but whether you resist it or move with it. Resistance creates suffering. Flow creates life." The bamboo fell silent, letting the insight settle. Above, the moon traced its arc. The river continued toward the sea, and the bamboo, rooted yet flowing, began to see itself not as a fragile form, but as an ongoing movement that would continue through every transformation. As seasons passed, the bamboo grew tall and strong. Roots deepened, leaves multiplied. Now it understood this growth was no different from the river's motion. Both expressed the same truth: life does not pause. It adapts, reshapes, transforms, and continues. One day, a craftsman entered the valley. He noticed the mature bamboo and recognized its worth. He cut several stalks carefully, leaving the roots intact for future growth. As the bamboo felt separation, it remembered the river's lesson. This was not an ending. It was a change of form, a new expression unfolding from the old. Those stalks became tools and instruments, serving purposes the rooted bamboo never could. From the remaining roots, new shoots rose, continuing the cycle. Years later, one stem had become a flute. A musician lifted it and breathed gently into it. Air passed through the hollow bamboo, and sound emerged. Music was born. The bamboo had become song, beauty expressed in another shape. Yet it was still bamboo at its core, still itself, flowing through a different form, a different way of existing. The river's teaching had been true. Nothing is lost in change. Everything continues, only transformed. And the bamboo that learned to flow like water discovered something deep about all existence. Change is not the enemy of identity, but its expression. Transformation is not loss, but continuation. Life is the endless movement of all things through forms beyond counting. Each shape is temporary, yet the movement continues. This story reveals a freeing insight from Zen. You are not a fixed object, but a living process. Most days you feel like a solid self moving through time, defined by traits, and change feels like a threat to who you are. But what if identity is not fixed? What if the stable self is a helpful story the mind tells to create continuity, not the deepest truth? The river shows that identity can be held lightly, remaining yourself while flowing through many forms, situations, and expressions. Consider how much you've already changed. Your body has replaced most of its cells many times. Your thoughts differ from 10 years ago. Preferences shift. Understanding deepens. Circumstances change. In what way are you the same as your childhood self? Yet a thread of awareness has witnessed it all. This is the river's paradox. You are changing and continuous. Like water that takes many shapes, yet remains water. You move through experiences and versions of yourself while something essential continues, not a fixed self, but an ongoing process of awareness and experiencing. The bamboo's fear of being cut mirrors your fear of major life changes, losing work, ending relationships, moving, aging. These shifts feel like threats to identity, but what if they are simply new forms? fresh expressions of the same process flowing through your life. When the bamboo became a flute, it did not stop being bamboo. It became bamboo differently, serving a new purpose. Your changes work the same way. Moving between life phases doesn't erase you. You become yourself anew. The form shifts. The essence continues. This understanding frees you from the tiring effort to stay the same, to freeze life into patterns, to resist change. When you know you are water rather than a container, taking new shapes feels natural instead of frightening. The river's lesson about obstacles matters too. Stones aren't problems to remove, but chances to gain skill. Water that only meets smooth ground never learns flexibility or strength. Your challenges are similar. Obstacles are not signs that something is wrong. They are part of the terrain your life flows through. Meeting difficulty like the river changes everything. Instead of insisting obstacles shouldn't exist, you ask what they can teach. How does flowing around this stone grow skill? The stone remains, but your relationship shifts from resistance to curiosity. The bamboo's insight that it was already flowing while appearing still points to a deeper truth. Change doesn't happen to you. It is you. Each breath alters chemistry. Each thought reshapes the brain. Every experience refines perception. You are always moving, transforming, flowing. The real question is whether you see this and work with it, or resist it and create needless friction. Letting go of forms carries grief. When the bamboo was cut, something truly ended. That rooted bamboo would never grow taller there. This loss is real, and the sadness of endings is natural. Yet beneath that sadness, there can be knowing that nothing is truly lost. What lived in the rooted bamboo continues as a flute. New shoots rise from the roots, the cycle moves on, and what looked like an ending is also a beginning. Your life holds many such thresholds. Jobs end, and new work begins. Relationships shift shape, health changes, abilities evolve. Each passage includes genuine loss of the former form. But when you know yourself as the flow rather than the form, these shifts feel less devastating. Forms were always temporary. The movement continues. This does not mean becoming detached or uncaring. The river cares for its banks, adapts to terrain, and fully expresses itself in each temporary shape. You can love your present form and engage your circumstances while knowing they will change. Caring and holding lightly are not opposites. They can coexist. The musician's flute creates beauty the rooted bamboo never could. This is not better or worse than growing in soil. It is different, and that difference widens what bamboo can become and offer. Your own changes work the same way. Each form opens new expressions and contributions, not because the old was lacking, but because life explores many possibilities through you. On a mountainside monastery, where stone paths wove between halls and gardens, a young monk named Ichiro walked the same route each morning. His task was simple: rise before dawn, go from the dormitory to the meditation hall, then on to the kitchen to help prepare breakfast. He had walked it hundreds of times. Every stone was known, every turn expected. The path was ancient, smoothed by generations of monks. It curved around immovable boulders, dipped where rain sometimes pooled, then climbed gently toward the kitchen. In spring, blossoms scattered across the stones. In autumn, maple leaves gathered in corners. In winter, ice made the path dangerous. Ichiro often walked with his mind elsewhere, planning, reviewing, worrying, hoping. His feet knew the way, so his thoughts wandered freely. One late autumn morning, the first frost had come overnight. The air was sharp, fallen leaves were stiff and brittle. As Ichiro followed his familiar path, his mind replayed a conversation from the day before. Another monk had criticized his posture, saying he was not progressing fast enough. The remark had stung. Ichiro kept rehearsing better replies, judging himself for being hurt by something small. His attention was fully absorbed. His body walked, but he was not with the walking. His foot landed on a large stone that had somehow appeared in the middle of the path. A stone he had never noticed before, though it must have been there all along. Or maybe maybe it had rolled from the edge into the center. Either way, it was there now, and Ichiro struck it hard. He stumbled, stopped short of falling, and the shock snapped him out of thought. His knee ached, his pride smarted. In the dim pre-dawn, he stared at the stone that broke his stride. His first impulse was clear: move it aside so it would not trip him again, or anyone else. The path should be smooth, predictable, safe. This stone was an obstacle to remove. He bent to roll it away. Then he paused. A question surfaced, unexpected, as if his teacher stood beside him asking, "Why is this stone here?" Ichiro straightened, still looking down. Why was it here? Because it rolled in, or was kicked there, obvious enough. But the question went deeper. He recalled the stumble, how it yanked him out of his mental loop. For the first time that morning, he was fully present on this path. The stone had broken his distraction and returned him to this place, this step, this act of walking. If he removed it, the path would be smooth again. Tomorrow he would pass unhindered, his mind free to drift, moving without truly being here. The stone would be gone, and so would this sudden awareness. Another thought arose. This stone might teach others what it taught him. The monk who walked tomorrow, lost in thought, might also be brought back. The stone could serve him as it had served Ichiro. But what if someone were hurt? An older monk with poor sight could fall badly. Then removing it would be compassion, not convenience. Ichiro stood a long while, sensing this choice had grown larger about obstacles, difficulty, and the line between care and smoothing everything away. He remembered his teacher's words: "A path without obstacles teaches nothing. Safety matters, but so does awareness." Sometimes a stone is a greater gift than a smooth road. He chose to leave it not casually, but as a teacher. Tomorrow he would remember it and step carefully over it. In that careful step, he would be present, not distracted. The stone would remind him to attend to where he actually was. Walking on, Ichiro reflected on other obstacles: hurtful criticism, hard studies, the strain of close communal life. His habit was to remove obstacles, defend against critique, choose easier work, avoid irritating people. But what if these too were teachers? What if hurt revealed attachment to competence, hard study built patience, irritating people trained equanimity? He did not need to seek obstacles. They arrived on their own, like the stone appearing in his path. And when they appeared, he could choose how to meet them, resenting that they should not exist, or meeting them with curiosity about what they might teach. Days passed. Each morning, Ichiro walked the path and stepped carefully over the stone. Each time it brought him into the present. He grew grateful for this stone, this teacher asking only for awareness. Other monks began to notice it. Some moved it aside without a thought, but it always returned, rolled back by rain or by someone who understood its role. It became an informal lesson. Monks who walked mindlessly stumbled. Monks who walked with awareness stepped over it with ease. One morning, Ichiro's teacher, Master S, followed behind him. He watched Ichiro step carefully over the stone, then heard him greet it softly. "Good morning, teacher." Afterward, Master S smiled. "The stone is your teacher now?" "Yes, Master. It teaches me presence, to watch my steps, not to move through life lost in thought. And you leave it there, even though it might be called an obstacle." "I leave it there because it is an obstacle. The obstacle is the teaching." Master S nodded with approval. Most people spend their lives trying to smooth every path, removing difficulty, avoiding challenge, and in doing so, they remove what might wake them up, what could teach them to live with awareness. "So, should we never remove obstacles?" Ichiro asked. "Should we never make things easier?" "That is the wrong question," Master S replied. "The right question is, what does this obstacle teach? What awareness does it invite? And if you remove it, what else do you remove?" They walked on in silence. Then Master S added, "Some obstacles should be removed. A fallen tree blocking everyone's way should be cleared. A dangerous hole should be filled. Use judgment, But do not assume every difficulty must be eliminated. Sometimes, the obstacle is exactly what is needed. Years later, when Ichiro became a teacher, he often walked new students along this path, watching what they did when they met the stone. Some moved it aside quickly, eager to fix what seemed wrong. Others stepped over it without much notice, but occasionally, a student would pause, look at the stone with real attention, and even thank it quietly before continuing. These were the students who understood that obstacles are not interruptions to the path, they are the path. Smooth ground teaches nothing new. You can walk it half asleep, mind elsewhere, body on habit. But difficult places wake you up, demand care, teach balance, presence, and attention. The stone remained on that path for many years, serving anyone ready to learn from it. A reminder that life does not become easier by removing all difficulty. It becomes richer by meeting difficulty with awareness, by seeing that what seems to block your way may actually be pointing your way. This story speaks to a deep human habit, the assumption that obstacles should always be removed, that difficulty is a problem to be solved, and that an ideal life would flow smoothly without resistance or challenge. This belief runs so deep it is rarely questioned. When difficulty appears, the immediate impulse is to eliminate it, avoid it, or at least reduce its impact. The idea of meeting difficulty with presence, learning from it, even feeling grateful for it goes against your conditioning. But Zen teaching offers another view. Obstacles are not separate from your path, they are your path. The challenges you meet are not interruptions to life. They are essential parts of it. Difficulties teach what ease never can. Consider what you truly learn in life. Compassion grows through suffering. Patience develops through delays and frustration. Strength emerges from effortful challenges. Creativity is born from limits that require new ways forward. All of these lessons arise through difficulty, not in spite of it. A smooth road teaches nothing new. When life is easy and resistance absent, you move on happily. Old patterns continue unchecked. Comfort remains unchallenged, and growth stays dormant. You continue exactly as before, never developing new capacities. Place a stone on that smooth path and everything shifts. You must pay attention, adjust your step, and be present where you are, instead of lost in where you are going. The obstacle returns you to awareness, to now, to presence. This does not mean seeking hardship or creating obstacles. The stone appeared naturally, as difficulties usually do. You do not need to hunt for challenges. They arrive on their own, but when they do, you can choose to meet them as teachers rather than only as problems. Ichiro's insight into his emotional reactions is especially instructive. When criticism hurt him, his instinct was defense or avoidance. But what if the hurt itself was information? What if it revealed attachment to approval, to identity as a good student? When emotional pain is met with awareness, it becomes a doorway to self-understanding. This applies to all difficulties. Physical pain teaches your body's limits and needs. Emotional discomfort points to hidden tension or mistaken beliefs. Relationship conflict exposes patterns needing care. Work challenges reveal abilities you did not know you had. Every obstacle carries information, offers teaching, invites growth. Master Sat's distinction matters. Some obstacles should be removed. A path fully blocked serves no one. A difficulty that only harms without teaching must be addressed. Wisdom lies in discernment, not removing every obstacle automatically, and not keeping every hardship out of belief that all suffering educates. Ask yourself about the obstacles in your own life. Which are you removing from true wisdom, and which simply because they are uncomfortable? Which difficulties may be teaching you something essential? Which challenges are shaping capacities you will need later? The stone on the path served many monks. Some stepped over it without awareness. Some cursed it. Others were awakened by it, brought fully present, taught by it. The stone never changed. Only the relationship to it did. Your obstacles function the same way. The difficulty itself is neutral. It simply is. But your response, your attention, Your willingness to learn these determine whether suffering diminishes you or develops you. You cannot control which obstacles appear on your path, but you can choose how you meet them, with resistance and resentment, or with openness to what they might teach, with the belief they should not exist, or with the understanding that since they do exist, they may serve as teachers. Your life's path has smooth stretches and difficult ones. Both are necessary. Both support your growth. And often the obstacles you most want to remove are exactly what invite you to wake up, to pay attention, to be present with real life, instead of a fantasy where difficulty never appears. The stone stays in the path not because removal is wrong, but because leaving it serves something meaningful. It serves presence and awareness. The remembering that this step, this stone, this moment matters. Your life is not happening somewhere else, in an imagined future, where everything is easy. It is happening here, where the path includes obstacles that wake you and teach you to walk carefully. High in the mountains, where snow lingered even through summer, there lay a lake so clear you could see 20 feet down to smooth stones on its floor. It rested in a basin carved by ancient ice, surrounded by steep peaks on 3 sides, with one opening toward a valley descending into forests and distant villages. A master named Hideo lived in a simple stone shelter beside this lake. For more than 30 years he had stayed there, not to escape the world, but to study the mind in a place that mirrored its nature. The lake was both his teacher and his reflection. Each day he sat for hours beside its waters, simply observing. One summer afternoon, a young seeker named Akira arrived after a journey of many weeks. He climbed from the valley below, driven by desperation that had grown for months. His life felt chaotic. His mind never rested. Thoughts spun endlessly. Emotions surged and collapsed like waves. He could find no stable ground within himself. He had heard of Master Hideo from travelers who spoke of a mountain hermit who understood inner peace. Akira hoped the master could show him how to calm his restless mind, how to find steadiness amid the constant churn of thoughts and feelings. When Akira reached the lake, he was exhausted. His legs shook from the climb. His lungs burned in the thin air. But deeper than physical fatigue was weariness from inner turmoil. He collapsed onto a flat rock near Hideo, who continued watching the water. For a long time, neither spoke. Eventually, Akira broke the silence. "Master Hideo, I have climbed many days to reach you. My mind gives me no peace. Thoughts arise without end. Emotions shift without warning. I feel as if I am drowning in inner chaos. Can you teach me to become calm like this lake?" Hideo slowly turned his gaze toward him. His eyes were quiet, reflecting the lake's clarity. "Tell me what you see when you look at this water," he said. Akira answered, "I see stillness, perfect calm. The surface is like glass, without a single ripple. Look more carefully." Akira watched again. At first he saw the same, then began to notice subtle movement. A faint breeze formed tiny ripples along one edge. An insect skimmed the surface, sending circles outward. The water was not perfectly still. "I see small disturbances," Akira said, "but they're minor. Nothing like my mind's chaos." "Watch what happens now," Hideo replied. He lifted a stone and tossed it into the lake. It struck with a splash, waves radiating in widening rings. The mirror surface shattered into broken light. Akira watched waves collide with shore and rebound, forming complex patterns. For minutes, the lake bustled with motion. "Now you've made it like my mind," Akira said. "Unsettled, chaotic. Keep watching." Slowly, the waves weakened. Large motions softened into small ones. The patterns simplified. And, after longer than Akira expected, the surface returned to calm. The lake appeared untouched, as if no stone had fallen. "The surface is calm," Hideo said. "But was the lake itself ever disturbed?" Akira frowned. "The waves were real." "Yes, on the surface. Look deeper." Akira leaned forward into the clear water. Below the surface, even at peak disturbance, The deeper water stayed mostly still. At the bottom, where smooth stones rested, nothing moved at all. Turbulence lived only at the top. The depths remained unchanged. The lake has depth, Hideo said softly. Wind, rain, passing stones affect the surface, but the depths stay steady. He motioned for Akira to sit. Your mind is like this lake. Thoughts rise like waves. Emotions surge like currents. This is natural. It's what the surface does. Yet beneath that activity there is depth. In that depth is a stillness never shaken by waves. But I don't feel that depth, Akira said. I feel only chaos. Because your attention stays on the surface, Hideo replied. You identify with the waves. You believe the turbulence is all you are. But waves are not the lake. They're temporary movements. The lake is deeper than any wave. Hideo picked up a smaller stone. Watch carefully. He dropped it gently. Small ripples spread, then quickly faded. Small disturbances make small waves. Large ones make large waves. But the lake's capacity to hold disturbance stays the same. It could contain any wave without harm. Akira nodded. You're saying I am not my thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness that holds them. More than that, Hideo said. You are the depth in which they appear. Thoughts arise like waves. They move and fade. But awareness itself, the vast field where thoughts appear, is never disturbed by them. It simply witnesses and remains. They sat as afternoon leaned toward evening. Hideo guided Akira to shift attention from mental content to the space holding it. When thoughts arose, notice awareness itself. When emotions surged, notice what was aware of them. This noticing, this awareness of awareness, felt like diving beneath surface waves. At first, Akira could stay there only briefly before being pulled back into identifying with surface motion. With practice, those moments lengthened. He began sensing the difference between thought waves and the depth holding them. The turbulence won't stop, Hideo explained. Thoughts will keep forming. Emotions will keep rising. That's natural and healthy. The surface is meant to move, but when you know yourself as the depth resting in awareness, the surface activity no longer disturbs you. It becomes something you witness, not something you are. As the sun set, coloring the peaks orange and pink, Akira felt a shift. His usual anxiety vanished briefly, not because chaos ended, but because he touched something deeper, vast, calm, and unchanged beneath it all. This depth has always been here, he said in awe. I've lived on the surface my whole life, unaware of what lay below. The depth is what you truly are, Hideo replied. Not thoughts, not emotions, not your story awareness itself. Thoughts pass. Feelings rise and fall, but the awareness that knows them remains constant, present in youth and age, in joy and sorrow unchanged, while everything else changes. Akira stayed many days by the lake, learning to recognize and rest in this depth. Hideo taught that calm need not be created or forced. One need only recognize the stillness already beneath mental activity, shift identity from waves to the water holding them. When it was time to return to the valley, Akira thanked him for the teaching. The lake showed me what words could not, Akira said. I am deeper than I knew. Peace isn't achieved, it's recognized. My true nature was never disturbed, even when my mind was chaotic. Remember this when pressures return, Hideo replied. When life makes large waves, don't calm them. Remember your depth, touch the awareness holding all experience without changing. The lake is always here. The depth is always available. Turn attention toward it. This teaching points to a core Zen insight. It's not mere philosophy. You can discover it directly. Right now, you're aware of these words, surrounding sounds, bodily sensations, and thoughts moving through the mind. Awareness is so obvious, it's easily overlooked. You focus on what's known and miss the knowing itself. Yet awareness has striking qualities. Spacious enough to hold many things, clear enough to know directly, and stable present, as objects of awareness continually change. Most importantly, awareness is never shaken by what it holds. Feeling anxious, Awareness notices anxiety but is not anxious. Feeling anger, it sees anger but is not angry. When thoughts swirl chaotically, awareness witnesses without chaos, like a lake's depth beneath churning surface. Fundamental awareness remains unchanged. You do not need to create this awareness. You already are it. Always have been. The question is whether you recognize it. Shift your identity from waves to water, from changing content to constant context. Most of the time, surface identification hides the depth beneath. When a strong emotion arises, you become it. When a troubling thought appears, you think you are that thought. Living at the surface, tossed by waves, you forget the depth exists. Yet the depth is always accessible. No journey is needed, no special action required. Simply turn attention from object to awareness itself, from content to container, from subject to underlying presence. This is often what meditation points to, not creating a special state, but recognizing the ordinary awareness already present within. Observing the breath is not about the breath. It reveals the capacity to notice awareness itself. Witnessing the breath. That awareness is your true essence. Resting in it, even briefly, allows a profound shift beyond being caught in content alone. Surface activity continues, thoughts arise, emotions flow, but you are no longer defined by them. You watch from depth, spacious and observant. Difficult feelings do not vanish. Troubling thoughts remain. But your relation to them transforms. They become weather moving through your inner sky. Not definitions of self. Temporary visitors. Not permanent residents. The lake's depth does not resist or suppress the waves. It remains vast, capable of holding surface turbulence without disturbance. You can cultivate this quality not by struggling against thoughts or emotions, but by recognizing the deeper awareness beneath them. This awareness is your home, your stable ground, unbroken by any life event, and always accessible, always here, waiting patiently for recognition. In an ancient forest, a gardener named Cana tended a grove famed not for any single tree, but for the harmony of all trees growing together. Oak and pine, maple and cedar thrived individually while contributing to the whole. At the grove's center stood a remarkable tree. Tall, broad, thick branches spreading wide, embodying everything a tree should be. Smooth, strong bark. Its leaves were full, green, seemingly perfect. Yet Kana sensed restlessness. The leaves rustled differently, as if stirred by an invisible wind. Branches reached outward in a way that suggested yearning, not merely growth, signaling something unusual beneath its magnificent form. There was a striving quality about the tree that felt out of place in the serene grove. One autumn morning, a traveler named Haru arrived. He had heard of Kohana's grove and wanted to see it himself. Walking among the trees, he was struck by their beauty and harmony. At the center, he saw the remarkable tree and felt puzzled. Kohana was nearby, tending younger saplings. "Your grove is extraordinary," he said. "But the central tree seems unsettled. Why would such a perfect tree appear troubled?" Kana put down her tools and walked with him toward it. They stood silently. "This tree has everything," Kana finally said. "Strong roots, healthy growth, ample light and water. By all measures it should be at peace. Yet you are right, there is restlessness. Do you understand why?" Haru examined the tree more closely. Circling the trunk, observing from different angles, he stepped back and considered its position among surrounding trees. Slowly he realized, this tree sees itself as separate. It stands at the center and feels alone. It does not recognize it as part of something larger. "Yes," Kana said quietly. "This tree has forgotten it belongs to the forest. It experiences itself as an individual competing for resources, striving to be best. Its roots touch every other tree. Nutrients flow underground. The forest breathes, shares water, and weathers storms as one." She placed her hand on the bark. "It thinks its leaves are apart from that oak's leaves, its branches competing with that pine. It experiences separation where profound connection exists. This perceived isolation causes suffering that perfection alone cannot fix. Haru reflected, "How can a tree forget it is part of a forest? How can it not see the obvious?" Kana replied, "Like a person forgetting their connection to humanity, or a wave forgetting it is part of the ocean. Focusing on our form alone blinds us to the larger whole. We define ourselves by boundaries, not by connections." She gestured to the surrounding grove. "Look at the other trees. Each is fully itself, each with distinct form and character. Yet they do not feel isolated. They grow in relation to one another, roots intertwined, branches sharing space. They are individual expressions of the forest, not competitors. That is why the central tree seems restless, while the others appear peaceful. When you recognize yourself as part of something greater, there is ease. Experiencing yourself as separate creates struggle, not because of the world, but because of perception." Haru sat at the base of the magnificent tree, leaning against it. He had come to admire the grove, but received an unexpected teaching. "I think I am like this tree," he said quietly. "I have lived as if my life and struggles were separate from everyone else's, my joys as if separate from everyone else's. I have lived as though I were alone, not part of something vast and connected." Kana smiled gently. "Most people live this way. It's the fundamental confusion. We are taught to see ourselves as isolated individuals." End quote. And while this is true in one sense, it is not the deepest truth. We are like waves in the ocean. Each wave has its own shape, its own expression, but is never separate from the ocean. It is the ocean, taking temporary form. Kana knelt beside Haru. This tree's roots extend underground, touching dozens of others. Nutrients are shared. Young saplings fed by old trees. Sick trees supported by healthy ones. The forest functions as one organism, though it appears as many. Humans are similar in this way. Everything is like this. The air you breathe was exhaled by this tree. The water in your body came from the same sky that waters the forest. The elements forming you have cycled through countless forms. You are not separate. You are an expression of the world, a temporary pattern in the vast flow of existence. Haru felt a shift in his chest, a loosened tightness he hadn't realized. The sense of being alone began to dissolve. He was not separate. He was part of this forest, this earth, this living system. The tree's restlessness comes from forgetting connection. Yes. And when humans forget this connection, restlessness arises. You feel compelled to defend, compete, prove your worth. This creates stress, but remembering your connection to the whole dissolves that stress, Kana said. Not because circumstances change, but because your relationship to them transforms. They sat silently. Above, branches swayed in a gentle breeze. Gradually, Haru noticed the leaves rustled differently, less agitated, more in harmony with the surrounding trees, as if the tree itself were listening to this conversation, recalling what it forgot. Haru asked, "Can the tree remember it's part of the forest?" "All things move toward truth eventually," Kana replied. "Perhaps through winter, when it relies on nutrients from the grove. Perhaps through a storm, supported by interwoven roots. Perhaps through time and quiet teaching of the forest itself." She stood to return to work. Haru rose. "And will I remember?" "Try. Though you'll forget often and need reminders," he admitted. "Yes, the illusion of separation is strong, but each time you remember, it becomes easier. Recognition grows stable, until eventually you live from understanding rather than constant reminders." Haru prepared to leave and looked back at the central tree. It stood tall and strong. Its form was unchanged, yet somehow it seemed less isolated, more integrated with the grove, as if aware of itself as part of the forest. It could finally be at peace with exactly what it was. This story illuminates a fundamental misunderstanding in human experience. The belief that you are separate, that you exist as an isolated individual, bounded and alone, confronting the world as something outside yourself. This sense feels natural, almost like fact, Yet Zen Buddhism teaches it is a profound illusion. Observe carefully what you call yourself. Your body consists of elements from the earth, from the food you consume, from water, from the air you breathe. These elements constantly exchange with the environment. Your boundary with the world is permeable, fluid. Your thoughts and feelings are shaped by culture, relationships, and experiences, language, values, your sense of individuality. These were taught by others. What part of you is truly separate? The tree thought it stood alone, yet its roots touched every other tree's roots. Its leaves contributed oxygen others breathed. Its shade nourished plants beneath it. Fallen leaves fed the soil, sustaining the grove. Separation was never real, yet believing it existed created restlessness. You feel this same agitation when thinking you face life alone, when you imagine problems are yours alone to solve, when success seems about outdoing others, instead of contributing to the collective good. This arises from the fundamental confusion of seeing yourself as separate, but you are intimately connected to everything around you, to people, to nature, to the web of causes that sustains you. This is not abstract philosophy. You can sense it directly by paying attention. Feel the air moving in and out. The same air that just passed through trees, breathed by animals, stirred by wind. The air inside and outside is continuous. Boundaries are arbitrary, temporary, constantly crossed. Consider your relationships. Are you truly separate from loved ones? Does their suffering not touch you? Their joy? You are shaped, influenced, and connected in ways that make total separation seem impossible. Tree roots, intertwining, show this perfectly. You perceive yourself as a discrete person, yet you are linked to countless others by invisible threads. Economic systems supplying your needs. Social networks shaping views. Ecosystems creating air and food. You are not an island but a nexus of countless connections. When you recognize this, feeling your connection to the larger whole, something eases. The burden of being a solitary individual facing everything alone lightens. You realize you are part of a vast network, supported by systems, and contributing to others even unconsciously. Your well-being and others' well-being are intertwined.